connected defense. Was tonight pretty close to that?
I thought the first few minutes of the game, we weren't as alert as we needed to be in transition. That's something that, we talked about pretty early, and I saw our guys respond. Some good things. I still think off the ball, we've just got to be a little more aware. We really want to shift and protect the paint. And, I thought did a good job of that really with the ball handler. We've just got to be conscious of cutters as well. But, every game we want to defend, no matter who we're playing, no matter what style they're playing. And that's what we're after.
Eric Walden, Salt Lake Tribune.
Quinn, obviously you don't want to take anything for granted in a game like this, but once you get up by a certain amount and there's only a certain amount of time left, what do you kind of shift your focus to, like in terms of trying to work on things or in terms of getting certain habits kind of reinforced?
Well, I think the habits are the same, regardless of who's in the game, regardless of the score, who you're playing. And that's the nature of, of habits. Sometimes when you get a lead, teams have a tendency to stop sharing the ball quite as much. And that's something I think we did a good job of. We kept playing the right way. We kept running back. There were, usually if you let up mentally, you can see it with certain mistakes that jump out, and that wasn't the case tonight. I thought everybody that was in the game was focused on playing defense.
Last question, Sarah Todd, Deseret News.
When you are using one of the coaches' challenge, like when Rudy stripped that ball or when Donovan stripped that ball, what's kind of your checklist before you actually make that decision? And is it there's someone's telling you something, or you're hearing a reaction, or is it just from the player? What goes into that?
Sarah, we talked about this a lot last year when the rule was new, and we've kind of kept the same system, so to speak. A lot of it will depend upon the score, the time and score, I should say, and really timeout situation. So in that instance, had we not had a timeout coming, but in that case, we were able to use a mandatory timeout that was coming at 7, and it was a good time to go ahead and do it. Sometimes, whether it's a player's foul, oftentimes a third or fourth foul that can come into play. And then, you see a lot of times when I think coaches are reluctant to use their challenge because you don't get the timeout back. And, particularly at the end of the game, if you need to advance the ball, you're really weighing that versus the challenge. So a lot of things that go into it. I think the league will keep looking at the rule, but I think people are getting more used to using the challenge.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Okay.